Howdy there, Earpers, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Wynnona Earp After Show. We're talking about episode 3, Gonna Get You Good, and we have a very special guest. Stay tuned.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Well, we're back again for another exciting episode of the Wynnona Earp After Show. It's episode 3, Gonna Get You Good. My name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D. Lane. I'll go down our panel and then we'll let you know who our special guest is in just a minute.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. That's YAELTYGIEL. And if you're watching live, I am monitoring the chat in Amber's absence.
And I'm Alexis Torres. You guys can find me all over the interwebs at atorres890. I also apologize if I lose my voice halfway through the show. So.
It's all good. So we are joined today by a very special guest. We have Katherine Barrell in the house. Woohoo!
Officer Hot!
Officer Hot!
Hello, hot.
Hey guys.
Hello, and I feel today's an excellent timing to have you as well because your character had so much going on in this episode. Oh, it's so exciting.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a pretty awesome episode for Nicole.
Mm-hmm. So first off, we have the cheerleader sequence.
Oh, yes.
Who creamed their panties on that one,
Me,
right?
double, triple, I don't have any hands anymore.
How was it watching that experience?
I mean, for me, it was fine. I don't know how it was for Dom, but for me, it was fine. Because I basically watched it anyways, over and over and over again on the day when we shot it. I think it was really fun. I think the scene had a really nice balance of being sexy, but also funny and cheeky, and I thought it played out really well. Yeah, I was really pleased when I saw it.
Not quite cheeky enough. That skirt was very short, but you know, almost.
Cheeky. Come on, how much cheekier could it have gotten without her being like basically in a thong?
Well, we did learn that there was no underwear per the character.
No underwear.
Yes.
And Dom had underwear on the day though.
Okay.
How many times did she have to go through that routine for you?
A lot. I don't know. But like we would shoot, so basically we'd shoot the routine at speed. So we were shooting like 24 frames a second, which is a standard shooting rate. And then we would shoot it again in slow motion, and then we would shoot it from other angles. So by the end of the day, I was like, this kind of feels awkward that I've literally just been like, by the end of the day, I could see that, you know, that's really hard. She was dancing for probably like 3 hours. So by the end, I think I was probably just trying to like smile at her and give her the most encouragement I could, because I started to feel like, oh my gosh, this must be really tough on you. So by the end, I probably just looked like a big smiling idiot because I was just trying to like give her something, just standing there, literally just standing there watching her like dance circles around me for several hours. So it was, I definitely, she pulled it off like a champ. Dom like never complains ever about anything and is so tough and strong. So it's she's really a champ when it comes to just doing really physically demanding stuff.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like such a difficult day. You know.
I know.
It sounds really difficult for Dom.
Yeah.
It sounds so great for Kat.
That's the sarcasm embedded. And then we get to see your new haircut, which looks lovely on you, by the way.
Yes.
Super cute.
Thank you. Yeah, I was really glad to cut that hair. God, I hated that French braid so much. I really did. Oh man, I hated it. I think like when I first came on the show last season, I mean, I don't know, but I don't think I was meant to do more. I was only contracted for 6 episodes. So when we were designing my costume and my hair and everything, it was kind of just like, oh, this will just be a minor thing, 6 episodes. So I don't know if there was as much thought into it. And then I'm sure somewhere going into second season, the writing team was like, okay, we need to change it up with Nicole because she's looking a bit drab. Like that. Oh my God. I just like every day those khakis. Anytime they would put the camera behind me, I would just be like, please God, no, please don't put the camera there. Because I just hate those pants.
It's all right. The view is good for us.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
So.
And then we get, of course, Wynnona doing the vag blocking one more time.
Hey man, she's just, I don't understand it. I'm like, I get it, sisters and all, but I'm like, stop it. Let her have some love.
She didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I know she didn't mean it, but like her comments after made me upset. I was like, just.
And she's done it more than one time, and she just makes it so awkward. It'd be walk in the door, turn around, and exit. My bad. I'll come back later.
At least she didn't do it docked and was like, I'm just getting a beverage here.
That was
Get out.
Leave.
Everybody always has an excuse.
Always. It's like, do you guys ever get some good alone time?
We do. Yeah, we had good alone time in episode 2. We were finally not interrupted, which was pretty nice.
Don't you remember the pretty lingerie?
Yes, we did. We love the lingerie.
Don't get me started.
Well, we can ask for verification on the question we kind of had.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you
Please.
verify, was their love consummated on episode 2?
Yeah, that's how I read it for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, good. That's
Yeah.
what we thought as well. But we're like,
Well, because people kept asking
Yeah.
Andress, and she kept being like, well, I'm not going to say anything. I think we have now cat confirmation consummated.
Yes.
Stamp of approval.
You know, the important
Yeah,
questions.
I think so. I mean, Emily's obviously like the kind of final say on that, but in my mind, yeah, that was their moment. Yeah.
Nice. And we also really appreciated the consent is sexy. We felt that is a very important thing. The consent is very important. And it was a moment that it got brought up without it like really ruining the mood or anything.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, you sure?
Totally. I mean, I think that was what was so brilliant about how that scene was written is that there was just that little moment, and it just, yeah, that's a really good point. Like you said, it wasn't something that got awkward or weird or ruined it or something, because I think so often that people are worried that that's what asking for consent will do, that it'll ruin it in some way. But yeah, consent is sexy, and I'm really happy the writers put that moment in. I think it was so great to see that.
Nice.
We agree.
Do we have any early questions before we continue through the episode?
Let's continue.
All right, so
I have so many questions, but we're not there yet.
Oh, okay. So, Kat, we're just going to kind of go talk through the episode and have you chime in if there's anything stands out. We have next Wynnona when she's, can't polish that shaft too much.
Which, the more I thought about that after a second watching the episode, Waverly is not necessarily making the joke about her polishing the shaft. She's noticing the shiny metal of the gun. The more I think about the metals that she's picked up, that we'll talk about throughout the episode, they all seem silver.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
what I was going to say. 'cause
Not
I
just
was like,
metal, but silver.
Yeah, because I thought it was interesting, because at first I was like, if she's just only getting shiny metal, she should be getting gold, white gold, whatever,
Yeah.
like just things in general. But she's picking to a specific shade, and I was like, huh, what does that mean?
I have theories.
Yeah.
What are your theories? I want to hear them. What are the theories?
So, all right. So the theory is because we haven't established what dolls is, and I've been saying werewolf since the beginning.
Yes, me too.
Silver bullets. Werewolf. That's it. Werewolf.
Cool.
She nods her head.
Yeah, she's like, that's a cute idea.
She's like, that's adorable.
No. It's fun to hear. I love hearing the theories. It's awesome.
Yeah, Nikki in the chat says silver, dolls, werewolf.
Yeah.
Everyone agrees with me.
It's all
Do you
good.
think? Do you think that evil wave like Gooverly's trying to kill dolls?
I mean, it seems like it at the end of
yeah.
the episode.
Or, oh man. See, now, I mean, I don't know if it's, since he is a type, if he is a type of werewolf, in my head I'm thinking it could be like the opposite of maybe like, since it's not a classic werewolf, maybe it's a different type of werewolf that is awakened by Silver. So maybe she's trying to get the monster out of him and
Ooh,
trying
I
to
like
wreak havoc
that.
through
I like that too.
the town. I don't know.
That's much more creative than silver, werewolf.
Well, no, I mean, that was my first reaction. I'm just trying to think outside the box. I don't know.
Yes.
I'm not getting
I was
approval.
going to
like I
say,
did.
Kat, you're doing a good job of the poker face. We had Tim on for an episode as well, and he's just like, I love your guys' theories. I'm not going to say anything.
I'm not gonna say anything. Yeah, I think that carries out for a while, like a bit still. We still got some interesting things that come along with Waverly's or Gooverly's collector habits.
She reminds me of a crow who like gets a bunch of shiny things and hoards them for later.
Yes.
And I'm like, what are you doing?
Raccoons, too.
Yeah.
So she eats.
Bernie. Oh, sorry, my dog.
Puppy!
Adorable. I'm okay. Professional. I'm a professional.
Oh, what's up, puppy?
Oh man, I wish my dog was in here right now.
No, we're like, and dogs. And we had we had a cat in another episode. So.
Man, we're just having animals in all of our Skype calls. I love this.
What are you doing?
I just died.
Yeah, no, I don't think I can finish the episode now.
So anyway, continuing on.
What's happening? Professional. We're professional.
Oh, I want to know, for the Scarecrow mask demon thing, what did that physically look like on set? Because, I mean, it looks like it might have been pretty similar and they digitally put on the bugs, but what did you see in person?
The mask, totally. The mask. There, we posted. There are some behind the scenes photos floating around, but basically it was a dude in a suit with this big mask pulled over. It actually looks a lot scarier in person than I thought it was going to.
Oh.
When I first saw it, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Is that gonna be lame, guys? But once it's lit properly and everything, and you have the guy inside who was playing the Scarecrow character, the Marzinyok / Marzipan, as Wynnona calls him. Once you could see the physicality of it, it did get a lot creepier because he was quite a tall guy too.
How tall is he? Do you know about how tall he is?
6'3", maybe 6'4".
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds terrifying.
Yeah, and he had big boots on too, as far as I can kind of remember.
Yeah. Nope. Honey bunches of nope.
But we had a lot of fun. We did. I posted this funny video of we had like a massage line going, and he was at the back.
Nice. I like it.
Nice. We have fun. We definitely have some fun.
Very cool. I love that he makes people take out their liver, and on our screening of it, one of the commercials is for a liver product. Side note. Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
That's
like,
funny.
That's interesting timing.
I just would love to see someone from like marketing for SyFy just like tea, just like throwing that ad in there.
Someone probably did.
Yeah.
Come on. Someone was like, "Oh, no one will notice."
We
did.
noticed.
We always notice.
So you learned it was Bryce Cooper who died, and then we have like
B-Train.
I love that.
If we're going to make fun of him, we're going to make fun of him.
And we have Nedley trying to cover it up, and then poor Officer Hot feeling a bit left out with him and Wynnona having their chit-chat.
Yeah, man. She's like really... I loved this episode for Nicole because it brought her on such a journey. You know, she... Mm-hmm. I think it's just so hard for her because she's in this new relationship, and so I think a lot of her is debating, is it me? Is Waverly being weird because something's going on, or am I just reading too much into it? Is she getting cold feet? Does she not feel the same way about me anymore? Is she regretting her decision? I think like all of these questions are just playing on loop in Nicole's head. And then being so excited to be a part of Black Badge, not just because she gets to work with Waverly, but I think it's because it's a promotion she's really been seeking some sort of career advancement for a while now and working really hard for it. And then she just kind of gets cut out. And I think it just really sucks for her. And then I think Wynnona is super protective of Waverly and, you know, apprehensive. I think Wynnona really likes Nicole, but I also think that she watched, you know, we had that great scene where she says, I don't know, Waves, like I'm getting these kind of flashbacks of you and Champ again and how you changed yourself for Champ. And I think Wynnona's argument is really valid. And I think it's something kind of any sibling would be concerned about. So yeah, but Nicole's not having a good time this episode. Not the first.
She's having a bad day.
This episode made me so angry. I was like shaking. Like Yael can attest. I was like looking at her and I was like, I'm ready to tear this screen out of the wall. I'm
People
so
said
angry.
some terrible things
in this episode. Well, mostly from one person.
We'll get to him.
Yeah, I was like, what else we got? So we have we learned that the bar is doing great. Wynnona finally gets to meet Rosita, which is fun.
Yep.
Mercedes, and points out that Wynnona has that broken heart. So finally somebody's like, ahem.
Do you see that? That's on the table. Wynnona, it's your broken heart. Fix it.
Yeah. And we get introduced to Perry Croft, which, yay for ethnic representation. I was like,
God.
yay, variety!
I was like, get my Asian people up on that
awesome.
screen.
That's what I love. I gotta say though, this whole season I joked was like the season of Friends. So Pat Kwok-Choon, who plays Perry, went to theater school. We went to theater school together.
Wow.
Danny Kahn and I work on another show in Canada on the CBC called Working Moms. And Tamara Duarte and I shot a movie years ago called My XX that actually just came out on like Apple TV and Amazon and all those things in the States. and we've been friends like for years. We go out for dinner with her and her husband all the time. So it was a year of just everyone who came was like, oh my God, you're here now. It felt like a really small world, but I love the character of Mercedes a lot, because I think we have this other female character that has that same sarcastic humor that Wynnona does, and that kind of like call it how it is, which I think is just so fun. And it's just like I remember, just even though I'm in the show and I see everybody and we work together and I know what's going on, I still sit back and watch Wynnona and go, wow, there's so many women.
Oh yeah.
As like an audience member, for just to be like, whoa, this is, I mean, think about it. Think about how many women we have on the show. It's pretty amazing. And so many times I think shows almost worry about, oh, it's going to be imbalanced if we put too many women in the same scene together, if we have too many scenes with basically women scene partners. And Emily's just like, doesn't even phase her. It almost seems as if she, in a brilliant way, doesn't even think about it. But it's fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think the women that we have are all so different and so like really fleshed out. They're like, these are characters with thoughts and feelings, rather than I'm a girl, which is
I'm a girl. Yeah,
it's
kind of
like
card. Yeah.
What's the bartender?
Rosita?
Yeah.
Rosita.
I don't want to learn her name.
I know, me too.
I'm with Wynnona. I'm like, well, I don't want to learn it. But that scene where Wynnona is like, well, what does she know? She has an advanced degree in biochemistry. Like, oh.
I'm just going to shut up now.
Yeah. She's a smart woman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Whoops.
We have, and jumping ahead with your character, Kat, we have the way hot with the kiss, and but the, hey, no, not in uniform, which I do totally agree with that. Like, you're in public, you are working. Public, that could be a little wishy-washy of PDA. That's everybody has different positions.
But she's on duty.
But she's in uniform.
She's at work.
She's on duty in uniform. It's just kind of like for a second when I read that, I thought, oh, I hope no one's going to think that Nicole means that because there are two women, but I hope that everyone got that it was regardless of gender. It was like, I'm working, this is inappropriate, like, please. I think that's another interesting theme that comes up for Nicole in this episode, is almost, I think it trickles in from her feeling a little bit disrespected because she got kicked out of Black Badge, so now she's kind of like feels like she has to prove herself a little bit, of like, okay, just because I'm not in Black Badge doesn't mean my job isn't important and you don't have to respect it.
Totally.
And it's really nice to see Nicole kind of stand up against Waverly, for herself against Waverly in this episode, because I think so much last season we saw Nicole kind of always, in a great way, catering to Waverly. But it's really nice for her to be like, no, this is for her to show her boundaries in a totally fair and, not in a mean way, but just like, this is my boundary and you need to respect it.
Yeah, you have when she's telling you how to do your job, that don't tell me how to do my job, which that also is like, you have no idea how to do this job, don't tell me how to do it.
Yeah.
Heather Lamb in the chat wants to know if that was a Gooverly kiss in public or if it was a Waverly kiss in public.
I think it was a Gooverly kiss.
Yeah, I
Me
agree.
too.
Yeah.
Because I don't think Waverly would have done that, but Nicole doesn't know what's going on at this point. So she doesn't know she just knows that there's something off, that something's wrong with Waverly. She brings it up with Wynnona later on, but I think she just knows that something's weird. But for me as an audience member, I felt like Waverly shifted into Gooverly for that moment.
Absolutely, I agree.
And then we have the more infuriating scene with Nicole and Nedley of the
With Tucker.
the Gardner kids and Beth Gardner getting them out, and the boys will be boys. I'm like, oh, that was the first one.
No, I think we pulled out every cliche in the first, 30 seconds of scene. We had the boys will be boys.
Such a nasty woman.
Like, it was insane. And I think I was actually more upset with Beth in this scene than actually anybody else in this scene, because she heard that he called her a nasty woman, but she was just like, I know, it's okay. And I was like,
I thought she...
Like, she patted him on the back when he said it. And I was just like, if you're calling one woman a nasty woman, like, you should... Like, you have a sister. Like, it just... Like, it made
two sisters.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean, we already know that clearly he hates his older sister, but it doesn't matter. It's the fact that literally I'm not going to get into, a whole, soapbox moment, but, that was actually what made it more upsetting for me than having to see poor Nicole go through that.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No,
interrupt.
please, go ahead.
Speak.
No, I think it's just so great and important that I wanna, it's not interesting if we're watching everybody in a TV show have literally the same viewpoints
Yes.
and the same kind of attitude towards everything. I think it's great to have a female character that is maybe not such a feminist or maybe, who feels that way, because it's just, it's amazing for conflict, but it's also a representation of the world we live in.
Yep.
So I agree with you. It was infuriating, but I kind of liked that Beth was like, I know, it's okay.
Yeah.
I just was thrilled that your character jumps on that like, whoa, wait, what patriarchal bullshit world did I wake up in?
Yeah.
It's like, don't let that slide. I'm glad she called him on it.
It really, I was saying, it really felt like Emily Andress was like, I got to get my frustration out. I got to let this out somewhere.
Yeah, the boys will be boys line is the like, because that's been in so many school issues like nowadays.
recently,
it's just so infuriating.
Yeah, but it was kind of nice that it gets people to feel a certain way, or maybe even see it as you said, that it just gets that different perspective up there. And
Exactly.
they're like, oh, whoops.
But before that, when we meet Tucker,
Oh my God.
and Waverly's like, he's a gardener. I think the greatest line ever is, I don't care what he does.
I don't care what he does.
I love that because it reminds you that Hot she just got to
here.
town.
Yeah.
Out there,
Yeah.
I keep thinking that time has passed, like it's been like years
No.
at this point. I'm like, oh no, we're all it's still in the same time frame. Whoops.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a really important thing that Dom and I discussed before starting to shoot season 2, because we shot season 2 in this kind of ignorant bliss of not knowing any fan reaction and not knowing how important Way Hot would be, that it would even be that Way Hot would even be a thing, that there would be such thing as Way Hot. And so I think when we got back to Calgary to shoot season 2, Dom and I went out and we had a really great discussion about, we have to remember, literally season 2 starts moments after season 1 ended. So there's no time. I mean, these girls have only been in a relationship officially for like a week at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Like, if you think about it.
Yeah, so it's super fresh, and that was something I had to constantly remind myself about, because it's hard to unknow all the things, like the interaction with fans and everything that went on between seasons, and talking about the show and the relationship and analyzing it from different angles, and then having to go back to, oh right, this just happened. If we were shooting season 1 and 2 back to back, we wouldn't know any of this.
Yep.
So
Right.
yeah, that was a really interesting challenge for sure.
Speaking of Tucker, the next kind of creepy scene that he is in with Waverly, and then the "you should smile more often." Oh, that one too. I'm
Sorry.
like,
I get that at
gonna
work
vomit.
all the time at my day job, and so I was just like trying to like hold it in as we were watching, because I'm just like,
I hate that one too.
I think when Gooverly takes over and lifts him up,
Yes.
my first thought was like, he's like a good foot at least
Yeah.
taller than you, and I don't know that you can extend your arm tall enough to like lift him that high.
but I also am just like, Wynnona Earp science. Like, saw that magically stuff. Just
Goo
it's fine.
science.
Yeah,
Yeah.
goo science.
The thing though is he could tell anybody. Nobody's gonna believe him.
Right, because she's a
Yeah,
tiny.
she's
She's
little.
the tiniest person, even with those crazy platform pink shoes,
yeah.
Those
which were
shoes.
fabulous, by the way. Yeah, no one's gonna be like, Waverly did that. No.
She lifted
And
me off
she
the ground.
stole his
No.
bracelet.
Medical
his medical
bracelet.
bracelet. Yep.
Yeah.
Med
Well,
bracelet, yeah.
No. I was like,
We have I love the line too of Wynnona. She's a crazy awesome bitch when she kicked the asses of
Oh my
all those
God.
stupid people at the school.
Because they were on Fleek. They were in
Oh,
Fleek
flick
City.
everything. Flick everything.
Yeah.
I love it because that's so dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like, please,
My brother
hurt them all.
still
Yeah.
Just dabbing.
But then we jump over to, we have Skip in the jail with Nicole, and then luckily the team shows up just in time. For the scene where you're like essentially getting beat up, how was that filmed? Was that wires? How is that stunt double?
Did you go through a window?
So part of it is stunt double. So anything that basically where I'm literally flying over the desk is doubled. And she has wires. So basically they rigged a mechanism of some kind. She had kind of like a rock climbing belt, if you can kind of imagine, that goes through your legs. It's like a harness.
Yeah.
So she had that on, and basically then they would pull her, and she would fly up in the air and spin and then land on a mat. And then basically when I went in to shoot my stuff, I would just go point from landing on the ground. So we did in one take, and I would go at the desk, and then I would get my breath going and run over to where she hit the ground and kind of half throw myself down and continue the scene and get up and move backwards, and then I would just stop and go to the next spot. So they kind of intercut everything.
Oh, cool.
Together. And I think Lindsay is the stunt double's name, and I think Lindsay went through the window, and then I went through the window to mirror it. I went through the window, they put a bunch of glass on my back, and then I pulled back to continue the motion out of the window. Just because they can't put we can't do the stunts just in case we get hurt, and then we can't shoot anything else. So, but yeah, our stunt doubles are absolutely amazing, and we have such an awesome husband and wife team, Steve and Leslie, who do the stunts on our show, and it's super fun, and the stunt doubles are really amazing. Lindsay's like a barrel rider, and she does all these crazy like things in her normal life. So I kept on being, "Are you hurt? Does it hurt? Are you okay?" She's like, "Oh yeah, this is nothing." Oh my God.
Nice.
Yeah,
awesome.
It's crazy. She's super tough.
Yeah, they filmed it so well and edited it so well because it really does look like you're the one being thrown around and everything.
Totally.
So, teamwork. It all comes together.
Yeah.
I like it.
Melanie in the chat says, as long as Kat wasn't hurt, I'm doing okay.
Nice. Then we have the Perry trying to stop the demon on his own, but Wynnona does the quote-unquote wish, because I'm like, well, technically she did make a wish, but it was a statement, not really a request.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's a little vague.
They made a deal.
Yeah. But I don't know what will end up happening later on. If that's going to come back to bite her in the butt later. I don't know.
But the deal was that she would spare the demon's life.
Spare your life if he goes in there.
If he goes in there.
Okay, then that's fair.
Okay, I'll take that.
And then at least she got her little kiss in. I was like, oh, at least, okay, you got that.
But I love how you and I looked at her and were like, well, she didn't really enjoy that.
That was an awkward kiss.
Yeah.
And then, that was the next bit, too, is when we have Nedley and Nicole, and he's like, do you want to know what's really going on in Purgatory? Which was like, oh, good, finally.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we had this conversation. I don't think I could have gone another episode without, like, having a little bit of heart-to-heart between the two of them.
Especially because we love him so much.
Yeah.
We
More now.
We loved this character. He was always kind of, like, on our side in a way. He seemed supportive and great. And then we were like, wait, what is happening that he's being a jerk face? That's me censoring myself.
Yeah, I'm so proud of you right now.
Thank you. And then, then he plops down the file, and I went, oh, thank God.
Yeah, I was really glad because it seemed like he was trying to be kind of like Switzerland in this, where he's kind of like, I'm just here trying to make sure the town's safe and just kind of stay out of it. Yeah. But I do love that he has morals. Like, he's like, I've just been playing the long game. Here, help me.
Yeah, I mean, from the beginning, I always kind of thought Nedley knows a lot more than he lets on. And I still think, this is just my personal opinion, I still think that Nedley knows more.
I mean, he's been in this town.
Than we've seen. I don't know. I just feel like there's more to that guy.
Well, I mean,
New prediction. I'm making a note.
Okay. But it makes sense because he's been a sheriff for a long time.
He's seen stuff.
Yeah. And I mean, or he has seen stuff, obviously he keeps it to himself, or maybe he just has like a bunch of files just hanging around and we just don't know what's happening. It's going to be interesting.
I just like that he finally talks with Nicole about what's going on, because that was my problem with like season 1. I'm like, she's smart. Why isn't anybody telling her what's going on? It took forever for the other characters to be like, so by the way, there's demons in town.
But also for
and then
everyone
by
to
that
like,
time, she's like, yeah, I know. I got it.
yeah, but it also was nice that he was like, we know, we're just ignoring it.
Yeah, or
it's easier to go this way.
And also, he understands it now that Nicole is kind of involved with the Earps, and maybe in like that kind of like, because I've always seen him as kind of like that dad character. Yeah. He's like, I care about you, but I'm also going to keep you at arm's length, Yes. Maybe he's like, I don't want you to get hurt, so I'm just not going to tell you information as much, and then when you get to that stage, I will then finally give you information.
Yeah.
So.
Then we get we learn that dolls, that Doc is making a formula for dolls.
So Amber was
we were like,
so right. That was Amber's prediction last week.
Did anyone see that coming?
Amber did.
Amber did.
Our fourth panelist.
Nice. Yeah, she's not here.
I want to give her credit.
Yeah, no, she was a good one.
She was like, here's what's happening.
But it's nice that they told us sooner than later.
Yeah.
Shows where they're like, we, the audience, have figured it out, and then they take like 2 more weeks to tell you. You're like, but I already knew like 2 episodes ago. So this show's been great of like, yes, we understand our viewers are intelligent. Let's move forward.
Right.
Yeah.
Poor Mercedes. Do we think she's dead? I thought I heard a snap.
Dude, I heard her neck crack. I
Yeah.
don't know, man.
The chat was going crazy earlier about whether they think she's dead or whether
Right.
she's not.
I have a theory. Sorry.
I put together that I'm a little slow on the uptake. I put together that the finger that was in her mouth was the
Yep.
finger that stroked the dynamite
dynamite.
and
Yes, it is.
escaped.
Yep.
Same gauntlets.
Thanks, everybody. It took me a minute. But then when they allegedly snapped her neck, first of all, I'm not okay with us losing Mercedes because I like her as Wynonna's BFF. Like, they're
Yeah.
so perfect for each other. But also, maybe she'll become a third of the widows. She'll be a third one.
It could be.
I want that. That's my thought. Nothing from Kat.
She's like, I'm gonna just smile.
It's okay. I like that smile.
Then we hear the snap, but again, we often have the no body, no proof theory.
Yep.
Yes.
So
And even I have there's a body, still no proof.
Okay.
I'm like,
I have theories.
Do you want to say
Hold
them
on.
now or hold them for predictions?
okay, go ahead.
Okay, fine.
Go ahead.
I think that one, this actress is amazing. She should not just be done in
No,
episode
please
3.
no.
There's no way in hell. I think that our Lady Gauntlet that we have going on here is
Yes.
going to kill Mercedes, but possess her body and get information.
Ah,
That
I
is
like that.
That is my theory. Again, I know that I can't get confirmation from Kat, but it's okay. 'Cause
I
that's
like
what I
it.
truly believe.
I like that theory.
Oh, it's a cute little shrug, too.
Yeah, I'll take it.
I like that theory. I think that's a good way. Well, because that's a good way to keep her around, but she's dead, quote
Yeah.
unquote.
Yeah.
Quote, unquote.
We have another nice like Wynnona Waverly chit chat moment towards the end. But that was an interesting moment though where Waverly forgot about the lipstick. So then I'm like, ooh, that really has a detached when she's in goo mode.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
she's not aware of what's going on.
But I mean, you can clearly see it too because her personality and like the way her face.
yeah, but you
structure
could
is,
maybe
too.
still remember
Yeah.
what you did.
I think that confirmed to us that she doesn't know what she's done.
yeah. I want to say that's a total like, it's not
I don't
there.
know. I guess
But-
maybe just the way that I can tell just from like her personality, I just felt like she's just not in control. So in my head, I'm like, she
no, but
probably
she
has no idea.
forgot the lipstick.
But no, I know that. That's what
Oh.
I'm saying. That's why is because she completely forgets everything
Oh.
because she's not there
Oh,
at
sure,
that point
yeah.
in time.
And again, slow in the uptake. Her eating the lipstick wasn't to eat the lipstick. It was because she needed this
Yeah,
silver.
she needed the thing, which I was like, you couldn't just roll the lipstick back
oh,
in
that
and then
made me
keep
like
it?
want to puke. It was so gross.
Because you know what the taste of lipstick
Yes,
is when you
the
eat your
texture.
lips.
I have a question for Kat.
Yeah.
Kat, what was she eating?
Oh yeah.
White chocolate.
I knew it. I
Nice.
knew
Thank
it
you.
was chocolate. I saw the
Nice.
consistency
Yeah.
through the
And
TV.
Dom's a vegan, so
Oh.
Nice.
Sweet.
yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Because there's a weird, nasty statistic that it's like on average women eat like 3 to 5 pounds of lipstick in their lifetime.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, that makes sense.
Which is funny if you tell that to someone else, they're like, "What?" But it's like if you actually
No.
wear lipstick, you're like,
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
But then they have another moment where they talk about dating, which is interesting because it's fascinating to watch Wynnona and Waverly talk about dating amongst themselves because it's like. I like how earlier Waverly's like, don't talk to me about dating until you have a normal relationship.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And
Which is really like kind of great. Good for Waverly, you know. I think Waverly admires Wynnona so much, but it's nice to see, and like the same way, it's nice to see Nicole sticking up for herself and setting her boundaries. It's nice to see that from Waverly.
yeah.
Yeah.
Is
You
there any fun, quick little story or memory from season 2 that you can share? Like, you could say something that happened maybe off screen.
Gosh, we have so. I think one of the nicest things about season 2 is that we had gone through everything for season 1, so we were all coming back together into our little Calgary bubble. That was really nice. We also had some really fun trips in Calgary. There's a beautiful place in the mountains called Banff, so we would go in different groups every weekend. And I think too, just having the cast get bigger this season was really fun. The addition of Varun, who plays Jeremy, was really awesome, and getting to spend time with him. He's an absolutely wonderful guy. And Megan Heffern, who plays Beth Gardner, also an amazing person, and Megan, like another friend who came on the show. So I think it was just this feeling of when you're out in Calgary, it kind of feels like your life is on hold, which in some ways can be hard, but in a lot of ways is really awesome for shooting the show because we are really in this little bubble. So I think it was. I know that's not a juicy, fun answer though.
No,
But
that
it
sounds
was
great.
really
I'm
fun
like,
to tell
no,
you guys.
I'm still thinking of.
Oh,
yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. Well, What else? My refusal to wear a belly shirt, like all costumes so many times would come in, we'd do a fitting, and they'd be like, oh, we have this like crop top, and I was like, nope, that's totally Dominique's arena. I
a good
am not wearing
argument.
a crop top next to Dominique. Really appreciate it. So that was fun. I just really liked too how they developed our characters through the wardrobe. I thought there was
Yes.
a really, really cool. You guys can probably already start to see the shift in Waverly with her wardrobe of just getting a little bit older, a little more mature, not quite so cutesy, which I really liked. And even when we see Doc get kind of like, I kept on being like, wow, Tim, you're such a hipster. 'Cause every day at lunch, he'd come in with some hipster outfit. It's just, Doc got
Nice.
really cool.
Got cool. What?
Doc
Already was.
clothes, like really started to reflect that.
Yeah.
We had a really, really good time in Calgary. It was really nice. And also just all of the crew and all of our Allison, who works for IDW, that is kind of like our everything person, and she handles all the behind the scenes. She makes those amazing behind the scene videos that can be seen online, and we travel with her when we do conventions. She organizes everything. So it was just, we really felt like a family this year. That was really nice.
Oh, you can definitely tell when watching this show for sure. Any other final things before we have to sign off? with Kat?
I saw the comment because it's always been bothering me since I'm new to the panel and the show. Is I'm just like, you know that it's like really cold out there. Why is she wearing crop tops? Just why? I don't understand.
Yeah,
But
people
also,
were wondering that in the
just,
chat.
Like, I just felt like I was the only one. I
Yeah,
was just like,
I think we should stop complaining and appreciate.
no, I do appreciate it. I'm just like, I can't do it.
It's so cold, guys. There's a scene, actually, episode 1, where Nicole and Waverly are in the barn getting the guns together, and when Waverly chops off the demon's head, in episode 1, I've never been so cold. It was to the point where, like, in between takes, we had hand warmers. I don't know where you guys live, if you live in California, but in
Southern
Canada,
California.
Yes,
we
it's
have
hot
these
all the
like
time.
hand warmer things where you open them to the air and you shake them, and there's some weird chemical reaction and they heat up.
Yeah.
So we would have like packs of hand warmers in towels over our mouths, because you just like, I remember my face was so cold that I couldn't speak properly. Like, I would stutter because I just couldn't use my face properly. It was really cold. That was probably one of the coldest memories I have. But and it's cold in Calgary in the winter.
Well, all of
no
you
big
do a
deal.
fantastic job that we can't tell. Beyond the obvious, it's cold.
Yeah,
but
when they're
it's
talking.
reasonable
Yeah.
cold. Thank you so much for joining us. We love talking with you about the show, getting some behind the scenes info and your input on your character. We absolutely love Officer Hot. Oh no! Is it hello?
I think
you
it's
still there?
frozen.
Oh no.
Oh no!
Well, thank you to Kat for joining
thank
us.
you so much to Kat. We'll have to reach out to her on Twitter. We're towards the end, but real quick, we have a quick little message for you all.
Yes. Guys, we do the show because we love you, and one of our amazing sponsors, Denny's, wants to remind you that now there is Denny's on demand. So they've taken the always open philosophy. I don't know if you've been to Denny's recently. I have. They're always open.
Me too.
And now
Love
you
that.
can get it with online ordering. Bring access to your craveable diner fare wherever their guests want it. So thanks to their new platform, guests can have a quick, easy way to place a mobile or online order for takeout or delivery from their favorite menu items all day, every day. That's right, you can get any of your favorite Denny's dishes available at your fingertips 24/7. And they've partnered with Hulu to give their guests a free 60-day trial of the premium streaming service. So for a limited time, you can get Denny's on demand and get the Hulu trial. Please check it out. So check that out. The Denny's app. Visit dennys.com.
Awesome.
That's how I ordered dinner tonight, actually.
Any super lightning fast prediction thoughts?
So
You wrote one down.
yes. So I think that our Nedley is turns out he is the real leader of Black Badge Division.
Dun, dun, dun.
Right? That'd
I
be
like
super
it.
cool.
I
That'd be a
like
fun
that, and
reveal.
I want it to be real.
And Finesse to Success on the chat said that Waverly has been storing silver in the barn since Ep 2, and so maybe Dolls and the silver are unrelated. He just stumbled into where she was storing stuff.
I think it's unrelated. I don't
that
think
makes
it
sense.
is to hurt him. I think it might be, I like the theory of bringing it out, or it might be coincidental that he's there.
I just thought that when he came in, he seemed a little
Like he was asking for her.
scared of it.
Yeah.
Like it was.
We'll see.
I don't know.
Yeah, because it looked like he was kind of like she was torturing him. Was what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, man.
Well, thank you all so much for watching. Let's go down the line. Where can people find you? What other shows are you on?
Oh man, you guys can find me again all over the interwebs at Torres890. I'm on a few after shows as of right now, since obviously we are in full countdown of my wedding. Which again, thank you guys all for supporting me and sending me all the ideas for just stuff. I have Jedi Alliance after this. Mondays we have Sense8, Kari Lane, and I. And then Attack on Titan's done already. And then Robots in Disguise with my other robot-loving panel on Tuesdays. So definitely check that out when you get a chance.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. And I just released 2 very awesome Wynnona Earp shirts on Redbubble. I tweeted it out. So check out redbubble.com/people/OTTs. That's OTTEES for the Wynnona Earp shirts. Also, right after this will be the Dark Matter after show. And starting next week, after that, will be the Killjoys after show.
Yay, awesome. And my name is Kari Lane. You can find me online at Kari D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And yes, Mondays on Sense8 with that lovely lady over there at 6. And later tonight at 10 p.m. is Box Office Breakdown, where we look at what movies came out over the weekend. And I was like, that's it for now, because Handmaid's Tale is over, but you can go watch that. And American Gods ended. You can go watch that. Huge thank you again to Kat for joining us. And go follow her on Twitter, because she writes fun stuff. And
At Kat Barrell.
Yes. And we thank you so much for watching. Give the video a thumbs up, 5 stars on iTunes. Leave us a review. We'll read it on air. And thank you for watching.
Bye,
We'll see you
all.
next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
Thank you.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.